In this unforgettable episode of The Spy Who Fed Me, Elijah Alexander sits down with Noah James, who plays Andrew on The Chosen, for a quirky, heartfelt, and hilarious deep dive into Noah's life beyond the screen. From a bizarre serial ritual involving green tea and Cheerios to his emotional journey as a struggling actor in LA, Noah shares untold stories about his past, his role on The Chosen, and his passion for EDM and Super Smash Bros. Plus, hear the adorable story of how he met his wife and how rediscovering music reshaped his creative world. It's raw, funny, emotional, and deeply human. Have you ever wondered what your favorite disciple is really like, off-screen? What if I told you the man behind Andrew, quiet, steady Andrew, is actually a green tea and Cheerios eating, EDM loving, Super Smash Bros. Champion who almost gave up on acting altogether? In this unforgettable episode of The Spy Who Fed Me, Elijah Alexander sits down with Noah James for a conversation that's anything but ordinary. Laugh with them as Noah spills the story behind his strange serial rituals. Feel the struggle as he opens up about the brutal early days of chasing his dreams in Los Angeles. Smile as he shares the adorable story of how he met the love of his life. And get inspired as he reveals how rediscovering music helped him find his way back to creativity, faith, and joy. This isn't just another interview. It's raw, it's hilarious, it's deeply human, and it might just change the way you see Andrew and yourself forever. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that something like this could happen here. As I sit here now, looking around at the setup, the cameras, the lights, the carefully curated table of snacks, I'm sort of having an out-of-body moment. It's surreal, almost like watching a version of my life play out from a distance. "Are you surprised?" comes the gentle, knowing question from across the table. I blink a few times, letting the moment sink in before answering. "I'm shocked," I finally say, a small laugh escaping despite myself. "I'm Elijah Alexander, and this," he gestures grandly, "is the show where we get to know your favorite cast members, one secret at a time." His smile is disarming, his energy infectious. "Stop fidgeting over there, pal," he teases playfully. "It's not an interrogation, it's a conversation." The camera pans back slightly to reveal a charming setup, more relaxed than formal, yet with an unmistakable air of something important about to unfold. "Welcome to The Spy Who Fed Me," Elijah declares with a wink. He leans forward slightly, hands clasped in front of him. "So," he says with a grin, "let's start simple. Tell us, and of course the cameras, who you are and what you do on The Chosen." I smile, feeling the nerves melt away just a little under his easygoing demeanor. "I am Noah James," I say, sitting up a little straighter, "and I play Andrew on The Chosen." The table in front of me is a sight to behold. Laid out like a tribute to nostalgia and personal favorites, it's piled with what, at first glance, could easily be mistaken for an accidental food collision. To me, though, it's a little slice of home, a memory brought to life. Elijah eyes the display skeptically, eyebrows raised in curiosity. "The table is laid out before you," he says dramatically, as if unveiling a masterpiece. "One of your favorite delicacies, to me." He squints at the array, grimacing in good-natured confusion. "It looks like a Kellogg's crime scene, so maybe you need to take me through it, exactly what each of these things are. And then," he leans in closer, conspiratorially, "we'll put them all together the way you would do for yourself." I chuckle. "The magic of teal," I declare. He blinks. "Teal?" "Yeah," I nod, grinning at his bewildered look. "It's Cheerios with iced tea." He sits back in his chair, visibly processing. "No milk?" he asks, incredulous. "Nope," I say, popping the P for emphasis. He squints at the cup next to the cereal. "Is it iced tea or iced green tea?" "Iced green tea," I clarify, feeling a little proud of how niche my combination sounds. "And unsweetened," I add, sensing the follow-up question forming on his lips. "Unsweetened," he echoes, making a mental note. "My opponent did their job," I joke, motioning to whoever set up the table. Elijah leans forward, intrigued now. "So, Iced, unsweetened green tea Cheerios, and we have walnut pieces here too? Right, I say, nodding enthusiastically. Healthy fats. Essential. He picks one up, inspects it with mock seriousness, and then pops it into his mouth. Don't mind if I do. Get that in, he says, savoring the crunch. I reach for the pièce de résistance. This is the magic, okay? Golden raisins, I say, dramatically lifting the tiny golden orbs with reverence. Go ahead, shovel some of that in, I encourage. Out of a golden chalice, no less. Exactly, I say with a laugh. Nothing less will do. He gamely sprinkles some in. And now, I continue, grabbing the pitcher, we just douse it in here. I start pouring the iced tea liberally over the cereal mixture, ignoring the slightly horrified expression on Elijah's face. Like as if we're, I trail off, giving a shrug that suggests don't overthink it. Oh, thank you, he says dryly as the tea splashes into the bowl. There you go, I say encouragingly. That's a good one. You know the right happening in there. He eyes the concoction skeptically, but leans in for a closer look. I have to tell you, he says with a grin, I haven't had cereal in years. I raise an eyebrow. What does it remind you of? I ask, genuinely curious. He chuckles. Being a struggling actor in L.A. The words hang between us for a second, heavier than expected. And just like that, a flood of memories returns. The days when I didn't know if I'd make rent. The long nights driving for Lyft. The relentless auditions. And through it all, TL. I nod, laughing softly under my breath because, oh man, do I understand that feeling. Elijah lifts the spoon dramatically, dripping with this unlikely concoction of Cheerios, walnuts, golden raisins, and a healthy bath of iced green tea. He hesitates for a second, then boldly shovels a spoonful into his mouth. There's a pause, a moment of silence so profound you could almost hear the thoughts racing through his mind. He chews slowly, deliberately, eyes wide, eyebrows raised. I lean forward, genuinely curious. And, I prompt, grinning in anticipation. Elijah finishes chewing, sets the spoon down with exaggerated care, and stares at the bowl as if it just delivered a profound life lesson.
Elijah leans in, genuinely interested. Was acting always the goal? Yeah. I nod. Always. Ever since I was a kid. I just didn't know how crazy the journey would be. And honestly, I trail off, chuckling. I don't think anything could have fully prepared me for it. He smiles knowingly. No one ever tells you it's 90% rejection, 10% miracles. He says, exactly. I say, snapping my fingers. It's not even personal most of the time. You're too tall, too short. Not the right look. Not the right energy. Stuff you have zero control over. Elijah taps the table thoughtfully. And yet, you kept going. I shrugged, smiling a little. What else could I do? It's the only thing that made me feel alive. There's a quiet moment between us. Not heavy, just true. Elijah breaks the silence with a grin. And now here you are, Andrew on The Chosen, a show that's changed millions of lives around the world, including, I'm guessing, your own? I nod, emotions tightening in my chest a little, more than I can even put into words. I say softly, it gave me purpose, it gave me a family, it gave me a chance to actually live my dream, not just chase it. He smiles warmly, and that's no small thing. We sit with that for a beat, letting it breathe. Then Elijah claps his hands once, snapping the energy back to playful. All right, enough feelings. He jokes, grinning. Back to weird foods. You ready? I laugh, grateful for the shift. Always. I say,